Hi everybody, Ricky here from Brifford Great Danes, a faith-based Great Dane breeder. Hope you're having a blessed day. You may hear the chickens because they are, I gotta show you this. We got one taking a seat right here. All right, joining me for my video. It's my first guest, the chicken. So I'm outside. I just got done cleaning up the chickens. I'm cleaning up their coop, fresh water, fresh food. The weather's a little bit nicer today, so just getting some air, enjoying this moment. So day 2. I'm not gonna call it chapter 2 because this book by Dyer is broken up in 21 days. Yesterday I did day 1. So as I do these videos, you could go back and find whatever days you missed, or if you like to join along, or just kind of go through the videos and see, how you feel. And definitely comment. I would love to learn just kind of your feelings on this book. Is this the first time you're hearing and discovering Wayne Dyer? Because if so, this is meant to be for you. Yes, babe. I mean, if she's gonna fly over here, this is gonna be interesting. Dutchie's out here, and my other dogs. So we have Duchess the Great Dane. This is my foundation female, my breeding female that we're starting with. We have Stella. She's an older lab mix senior, and we have Happy. He's a shepherd mix. I call him the trainer because he keeps everybody on their toes. He's running around. He's got that shepherd energy. So he keeps everybody like worked out. And look at this chicken. I'm not kidding. I mean, are you kidding? I mean, okay. I'm telling you. I guess they know who feeds them. Okay. All right. So I mean, I'm telling you, entertainment. Do you want to read this? But here, I'll read to you. I mean, all right. So these are really quick. These are only a couple pages each, which I like because, I would love to be more of a reader, but I'm not. Like, I kind of wish I was a bigger reader because I love books. I love actual books. I used to sell books. I'm in the vintage and the antique business, mostly selling furniture these days, but I used to sell a lot of used books on Amazon, and I mean a lot. There was a year or two where I was like very heavily into it, and I love the actual feel of a real book, like the smell, the pages, and I don't know, there's something special about having a book in your hands, right? Okay, so let's get into this. Let's see what we have today. Day 2, be attached to nothing. What does that make me feel? Be attached to nothing. I'm really attached to my dog, my family, my truck, my my favorite, my hat, my like just certain things, right, that we like find comfort in. Your favorite book. So this is saying to be attached to nothing. And it doesn't mean that you can't, I think it's saying like doesn't mean you can't have a dog you love, or obviously you love your children, your spouse, whatever it is, that favorite. It's okay to love these things, just don't be so attached to them, right? Yeah, let's see what they say. Let's get into this, okay? So once you decide to open your mind to everything, the next step is to let go of all your attachments. We are going to look at this topic today. A good place to start is to let go of your attachments to what you've been trained to believe. Open your mind to all possibilities, because whether you believe something is possible or impossible, either way, you'll be right. So, could I be a millionaire? Or, I can't be a millionaire. It's like either one, you'll be right. Because like it's almost like you made a subconscious, like a decision. How can that be true? Your agreement with reality and all that's possible determines what you'll become. If you're convinced that you can't become wealthy, famous, artistic, a professional athlete, great singer, or whatever, you will act upon that inner conviction that prevents you from manifesting what you'd really like. So, if you don't believe it, you won't see it. All that you'll get from your effort is being right. So either way, you'll be right. That's what it's saying. So yes, I'll be rich, or nah, I can never be rich. Either way, you're right. When you need to be right, you're attached to your conditioned reflex of the way things are and always have been. And you assume they will always be. Releasing your attachments. Your attachments are the source of all your problems. See, like right away I want to argue with that. Like, what do you mean? Your attachments are the source of all your problems. That's a tough one. The need to be right, to possess someone or something, to win at all costs, to be viewed by others as superior. These are all attachments. Okay, well, the need to be right is a tough one for me. I wish I was a little bit more quieter and less, like, you don't always have to chime in with like your feelings. Like a lot of times when we're talking to somebody, it's like before they're even done with their story, you're ready to add to it, or to say, oh, you shouldn't do it this way, do it my way. Or like for me, for instance, like I'm always about like fixing something. Like, all right, let me fix your problem. Let me fix my problem. Like I always want to keep things steady. So I'm a big fixer. That's one of my things. Where'd I go? The open mind resists these attachments and consecutively experiences inner peace and success. The open mind experiences inner peace and success. If you think peaceful thoughts, you'll feel peaceful emotions. It's tough because, a lot of times our thoughts aren't our own. So like if you think peaceful thoughts, well, I like to think peaceful thoughts, but sometimes there's intrusive stuff. There's stuff that comes up, the past, the future, like issues. And so it's a little tough. It's almost like easier said than done. But if you think peaceful thoughts, you'll feel peaceful emotions. And that's what you'll bring to every life situation. If you're attached to being right or absolutely need something in order to be at peace or to be successful, you'll live a life of striving yet never arriving. So I understand this because I've listened to a lot of his talks. It's like always trying to get here. Like when I was younger, I wasn't the best boyfriend or man, or like, I come from I wasn't raised too well. I didn't have a great father figure, like, so I didn't know how to be a good boyfriend, a husband, husband now it's different. I've totally have evolved. But when I was younger and dating, like it was always like, oh, if I could get that girl, like she's beautiful, if I could only get her, and then I get her, and then I'm like, she's okay, but if I could get that one, I'd settle down. That's the one, And it's almost like you're always striving, but you're never arriving. So when I met my wife, like I finally have arrived. So I think it's okay to go after and try different things until you arrive, but just don't make that your life's thing, because it's like a hamster wheel, right? It's like a treadmill, like a never-ending vicious cycle of wanting more. If I could get this car, if I could get that job, if I could get this relationship or this amount of money, To release attachments, you have to make a shift. This chicken's really trying to sit on my lap. To release attachments, you have to make a shift in how you view yourself. If your primary identification is with your body and your possessions, a big thing is the body, right? I mean, these days you see people, getting their lips done and getting all kinds of injections, and they look swollen, and that's a whole nother thing. I mean, you're just screaming for help, I feel like, and you're not exactly happy with yourself. And I don't want no disrespect. I mean, there's if you've always had small lips and now you have an opportunity to make those lips a little bigger and they make you feel happy, but it's the people that do the lips and then the cheeks and then the fake butt, and you're chasing something, right? So if your primary identification is with your body and your possessions, your ego is the dominant force of your life. If you can tame your ego sufficiently, you'll call upon your spirit to be the guiding force in your life. This is everything we're talking about. The heart movement, the spirit. It's like, when you do things through your heart, and as simple as when you go buy a pair of shoes or buy something, it's like, who's making the decision? Are the shoes did you even try the shoes on? Are they comfortable? Because I know when I was a kid, it was like, oh, I just want those because I've seen my friend had those in class, or I've seen the basketball player wearing those. So I just want those. I don't care what they feel. I don't care if my toes are like this. I don't care if they're uncomfortable. But these days, I make choices according to my heart. What do these shoes feel like? Are they comfortable? Am I walking well in them? Remember when you were young, your parents would make you walk back and forth to try with your new shoes? Because, they're supposed to feel comfortable. So, let me see. Okay. As a spiritual being, you can observe your body and be a compassionate witness to your existence. Your spiritual... So I have to just add to this. So you be a compassionate witness to your existence. So it's like, as you're moving around in life, it's almost like watching yourself move in life. So it's not you. It's kind of you. Your compassionate witness is watching you. So you're looking through different eyes. It's not like your eyes, because a lot of time that's ego. That's what's in it for me. But when you're coming from it's almost like behind you, like kind of just a witnessing. It's a little hard to understand. It took me a while, but I'm sure the more we get into this, you'll understand. Your spiritual aspect sees the folly of attachments because your spiritual self is an infinite soul. Nothing can make you happy or successful. These are inner constructs that you bring to your world rather than what you receive from it. However, releasing your attachment, especially to possessions, is not easy in the consumer-oriented world in which you are bombarded by advertising that continually exhorts you to buy bigger, better, more. Period. The first step in transcending such message is to become aware of what's going on and realize that you don't really need anything else in order to be happy. You may need to say this to yourself over and over until it sinks in. Nothing can make me happy. It's tricky. It's tricky. Seeing my children, my son makes me happy. My dogs, I don't know. That's a tricky thing. I understand they're not exactly talking about. He's not talking about that, but your first step is transcending such. Oh, I read that. You may need to say to yourself over and over until it sinks in, nothing can make me happy. Happiness is what I bring to life, not what I purchase. Okay, well, I understand that. This awareness diminishes the annoyance of all those. Hold on. This awareness diminishes the annoyance of all those commercial messages, and at the same time allows you to enjoy their creativity because you've detached from the ego messages and connected to spirit. What I'm suggesting is that you can be free from the push to convince yourself that you need more, while still being able to enjoy the material aspects of the world. In other words, you know that you don't need more. And at the same time, you're free to live happily and enjoy the world the way it is. So it's okay to have more, but just don't need it, right? Like, you just have to be clear that you don't need it, right? Chicken? What do you need? I mean, this is the best. You can't beat these kind of videos. There's absolutely no editing here. Oh my goodness. All right, where am I? I'm losing. I'm losing my babe. Go, come on, babe. Come on, babe. Want to sit on my lap? Okay, there we go. Okay, settle down. What I'm suggesting is that you can be free from the push to convince yourself that you need more while still being able to enjoy the material aspects of the world. In other words, you know that you don't need more, and at the same time you're free to live happily and enjoy the world the way it is. I want this distinction to be clear because it's fun enjoying a new automobile, well-made clothes, dinner in a nice restaurant, and an expensive piece of jewelry, or anything else, including this book. It's interesting. What you want to avoid is the inner belief that somehow your true essence is lacking if you don't get more possessions. You must also guard against allowing this stuff to define your worthiness, which is the advertisers frequently attempt to convey. So, be content. You could have more, but you don't need more. When I allowed my awareness to purchase only what I desired, I found myself less and less attached to stuff. You see, the more I have, the more it becomes almost burdensome to store it, insure it, dust it, decide if it's tax deductible, and ultimately dispose of it. These days, I'm almost amused by the advertising I'm subjected to. And when it appears, I press my spiritual mute button and feel even happier that I'm immune to the message that certain brands can add status to my life. You know, those Louis Vuitton bags that are like $1,000 and they're, made out of plastic. It's just a thin line. If you absolutely love it, well, then I'm all for it, because I've spent money in interesting places where a lot of people would be like, huh? But it was my heart move. So if your heart move is to buy that bag, that's fine. But also understand that bag was probably, cost them $50 to make. So let me see. Okay. Trust your inner vision. This is probably good. Trust your inner vision. It's possible to have a burning desire, yet not to have attachments. You can have an inner vision of what you intend to manifest and still detach yourself from the outcome. How? Consider this observation in A Course in Miracles, another awesome book. Awesome. You might want to look into that. A Course in Miracles. Infinite patience produces immediate results. It's almost like if it doesn't matter, it'll show up. Or infinite patience produces immediate results. It sounds like a paradox, doesn't it? Infinite patience implies an absolute certainty that what you like to manifest will indeed show up in perfect order and exactly on time. I'm telling you, this is really true. There's nothing like in life. It's like everything is always perfectly timed. The perfect people show up, the perfect situations. And it's not on your time. It's always on God's time, or on Spirit's time, whatever you want to call it. Everything in my life has always like perfectly been, it's been like one trail led me to here, to there, and always exactly on time. Like, you know, sometimes I wanted something so bad, but looking back now, like I wasn't ready then. Like I just wasn't ready. So it'll show up when you're ready, or when it's meant to be shown to you. The immediate result you receive from the inner knowing is a sense of peace. When you detach from the outcome, you're at peace, and you'll ultimately see the fruits of your convictions. Suppose you had a choice between two magic wands. With wand A, you can have a physical thing you desire by simply waving it. With wand B, you can have a sense of peace for the rest of your life, regardless of what circumstances arise. Which would you pick? Which would you pick? For me, it's a tough one because, you know, certain parts of your life, I feel like bring on certain different moves. Let me just, what was wand A? With wand A, you can have any physical thing you want. With wand B, you can have a sense of peace for the rest of your life. Yeah, see, as you get older in life, this is wand B. When you're 21 years old and somebody asks you, do you want peace or do you want that Ferrari? You know, which one would you pick? A guarantee of stuff or inner peace for the remainder of your life. If you opt for peace, then you already have wand B. Simply have a mind that is open to everything but attached to nothing. Let it all come and go as it will. Enjoy it all. Let it all come and go as it will. Enjoy it all. But never make your happiness or success dependent on an attachment to anything, any place, and particularly any person. In all of your relationships, if you can love someone enough to allow them to be exactly the way they choose to be, that's really tough. Because, like, you know, like I said, fixing people, wanting to change people. Hey, be more like me, right? Be more like me. So be careful. Just, you know, be in the sense in the allowing, right? Just allow. And this is tough with children because, like, you always want the best for them, their safety. Like, you're worried, but it's almost like, you know, to a certain extent, but like allow them to be them. With any expectations or attachments from you, you'll know true peace in your lifetime. True love means you love a person for what they are, not for what you think they should be. This is an open mind and an absence of attachment. Pretty cool. So tomorrow, day 3, don't die with your music still in you. He's talked about that. That's a really big one. It's like, you know, if you're meant to be a singer or a writer or whatever, start screaming, start singing everywhere, start writing, I'm sure this day 3 is going to get us a little into more of our inner, what's our inner calling. Don't die with your music still in you. Our inner calling, our inner purpose. So we'll be getting into that tomorrow. God bless. I don't have much battery, so I had to kind of go fast. I hope my energy is a little bit fast, and I don't love that. I'm trying to work on slowing things down, and maybe this book will help get me there. God bless.